Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Yesterday, of course, we saw the major Season 5 reveal. We got the brand new roadmap. We got a full-on blog post detailing some of the major content set to debut in Season 5. Primarily in like the first half of the season. We saw several in-season updates revealed as well, some of the mid-season changes with a couple of operators, of course, some events and some modes and whatnot. But really, this update has a lot more to it than what you might initially think. There are some things that are shown on the roadmap that actually have a lot more details to them. There's also been some other updates that are going to be coming in Season 5 that have sort of been secretly or accidentally revealed maybe, which just shows that this season's going to have even more content than we initially thought. And the first thing I want to focus on here is the weapons coming in Season 5. Now, later on, probably early next week, we're going to be going through a full-on weapons update breakdown with all the details, but what I want to focus specifically on here is the classified weapons that are going to be debuting with the in-season update or the mid-season update, which will likely take place in about a month's time if I had to guess. And we have two weapons that are currently classified, although they're not really classified all that well. You can see on the roadmap, it lists our new weapons of the FR Avancer, the Carrack 300, the M13C, and then we have quote unquote a new handgun and a new SMG, and they have like the little silhouettes of these two weapons featured there, but the silhouettes are very obvious. They're not really classified weapons. Like in the past, we've had a classified shotgun tease, but we had no idea what that shotgun looked like or how it was going to behave in game. But we have a much better idea of what's going on with these weapons. So even though they are hidden and they are classified, the previews here tell us enough. And we also have some leaks that sort of help, bring in more information as well. So as far as the new handgun goes, this appears to be the Staccato 2011. Now, the Call of Duty blog does say that we're going to see a new handgun that's going to help out with some decent firepower in the mid-range, and the Staccato 2011 would fit that. It's also been a weapon that's been in the files for some time now as a leaked pistol, as you may recall if you've checked out the various times that we've covered the leaked weapons, a list from a few months back. So that definitely adds up. Now, it is still going to be a pistol. It's going to be used on like those non-overkill class setups, maybe your water-based loadouts for Warzone. It won't be anything too crazy. Knock on wood, it's not going to be super broken like the X13 and the Basilisk were a few days back, but it's, a standard handgun update there. The SMG is what I find to be particularly interesting because of how strange it seems like it is that this is going to be a whole new weapon. Essentially, as you can see on the preview silhouettes, this is an MP5, but as the Call of Duty blog details, this is a new SMG that features an integrated suppressor. So this is an MP5 with an integrated suppressor, which means this is going to be the MP5 SD variant. And you may recall that a few months back, I think it was with Season 2 Reloaded actually, now that I'm looking at the tweet, there was a typo in the patch notes that detailed a barrel getting buffed on the MP5 or the Lockman sub that didn't exist. It was called the LM Nebula barrel. And Infinity Ward tweeted out saying, hey, we incorrectly featured the LM Nebula barrel attachment. That's actually going to be coming in a future season. And we haven't seen that, obviously. The 74U got a new barrel, but not the Lockman sub, not the MP5. So I even posted this on Twitter yesterday, which if you don't follow me over there, feel free to do so at WhosImmortal. But part of me wonders if they took this LM Nebula barrel for the MP5, put it on, and we're like, hey, what if we just use the LM Nebula barrel, the integrated suppressor basically, and make this the MP5 SD and release it as a new gun? It's possible that's what happened here because we don't know what the LM Nebula barrel looked like, if it was an integrated suppressor barrel or what. But either way, we're now going to have two MP5s in the game, or two Lockman subs in the game. I'm very curious to see how different their damage profiles are going to be. But yeah, even though we have two classified weapons, they're not really all that classified right now. Now, we've also got some other pretty big and pretty important sort of secret updates or under the radar updates even for Season 5. And as we get into these, quick reminder, if you are new here, every single day I got you covered with the latest going on in COD. Everything you need to know, whether it's news, updates, patch notes, meta breakdowns, it's going to be right here. So feel free to hit that subscribe button. Really do appreciate all the love, all the support on the channel the past couple of days. I see a bunch of you guys are subscribing to stay up to date with the Season 5 intel, so seriously, much love for that. Also, if you enjoy the video at all, let me know by dropping a like on it as well. And if you plan on jumping into some Season 5 gameplay, whether you're leveling up the new guns, testing out the new maps and modes, you might want to do it with the added boost of some G Fuel. As always, if you throw in code IMMORTAL at checkout, you can get 20 to 30% off your entire order, and they quite literally got something for everyone. If you're trying G Fuel for the first time, they got plenty of starter pack options. If you want to restock on your favorite flavor, they got the tubs as well. And of course, if you want that extra step, they got the cans available too. WhosImmortal has you covered on all of that. Link for that will be down in the description below if you're interested. Anyways, one update in particular that was announced yesterday, I feel like really went under the radar for being, you know, not as big of a deal as it actually is. But in season 5, we've got a brand new Resurgence map debuting, which I feel like people really aren't talking about that much. At least I haven't seen much commotion about it, because this is going to be a third Resurgence map we now have live in game, and it's going to be split in the rotation between Ashika Island and Vondel, obviously. And this is basically going to be Al-Bagra Fortress. They're calling it Fort Resurgence, which I won't lie is a very goofy name. It just sounds weird. But they're essentially taking the slice of Al-Mazrah that is the Al-Bagra Fortress point of interest and its greater surroundings, they say. And that's going to be added to the Resurgence map pool. So now, with the rotating modes and even in some standard Resurgence gameplay with duos, solos, trios, quads, we're going to have Al-Bagra Fortress available. So it's not a full brand new map, obviously, like Vondel or Ashika Island, where it still takes place on Al-Mazrah, but it is going to be a new map in the rotation that's a cut down area that we haven't really explored before, unless of course you're like playing the ground war version of it, which I imagine is probably going to be pretty similar to what's going on with the Resurgence mode for it. But definitely very interesting that kind of out of the blue they're like, hey, by the way, we're also going to add in an Al-Mazrah cut down area as a full new Resurgence map. That kind of took me by surprise, and as I was reading it was like, okay, just seems like it's going to be this little LTM thing, but no, it's going to be fully in the rotation. And then the final sort of secret update here, and this one was definitely you know, a surprising one to me, is we have a major crossover happening here later on into season 5. Of course, the initial blog post and roadmap detail that we've got a bunch of new operators dropping here in the first half of season 5, like for instance Graves. We've got Mace returning as well, Velikan, Oz is a brand new operator. But with the reloaded update, or the mid-season update, we're actually going to see what I believe is the very first crossover with another game that is not owned by Activision. The PlayStation blog, for whatever reason, included a few extra details about Season 5's content, and they say that the legendary treasure hunter and video game icon Lara Croft is going to be a brand new operator arriving in the mid-season. We've got a Lara Croft Operator bundle coming to Warzone, MW2, and DMZ, and this was not mentioned on the roadmap or in the blog post. This was only mentioned on the PlayStation blog accidentally, but it's a pretty big deal as well. Like I said, I believe this is the first time we've seen a full-on new operator come over from a different game entirely. We've seen stuff like the Crash Bandicoot crossover, but that's of course all Activision owned and whatnot. We've seen obviously various different pop culture crossovers and movie crossovers, but Lara Croft being another video game character now coming into Warzone and MW2 and DMZ, pretty cool. And like I said, not mentioned officially by COD, but instead by PlayStation, which is kind of funny how that works out. But that being said, those are a handful of the updates you might have missed, or the content reveals you might have missed when it comes to Season 5. And that's going to wrap things up for today. If you enjoyed the video at all, let me know by dropping a like on it. It would be really appreciated. And if you want to guarantee you're always up to date with absolutely everything going on in the world of COD, be sure to hit that subscribe button on your way out. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.